Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we have a Napoleon Total War Battle replay. Now this is drawn directly from my stream from today, and this is a battle between me and Zethro Games. So if you do enjoy this video, please let me know down below, and let's begin. So I know it's been a little while since I have been on YouTube, seeing as I took a long break, but I decided it was time for me to come back with another video. So, in today's video, we have me playing as the Kingdom of Prussia, fighting with Zethro as the Kingdom of Britain, or the United Kingdom, I should say. So what we have here is we have a very large hill which is being held by Zethro, so and his army already is much larger than mine. Well, not much larger, but the same size. Similar infantry amounts, but his army is on a much better positioning, and so this is just kind of going to be hard for me to even win. So he actually begins firing his artillery, and so he actually just hit himself quite a lot there. Thought that's pretty funny. But so this battle is just between me and him. He is not a very experienced player, neither am I, so we're both pretty new to this game. So we decided it would be kind of fun to play a battle out. So this battle is a pretty long one. So you might want to, just as Pixelated Apollo says, get your snacks and drinks. But it isn't really that long. So let's go ahead and go over army comps. So for me, I'm bringing 4 of the Blacks Brunswickers line infantry, 4 units of the Swiss line infantry, 3 units of the Prussian musketeers, or just the musketeers, and 3 units of the skirmishers. So yeah, these guys are going to be engaging Zethro's forces, trying to get a couple kills. Over here, we actually begin engaging. I didn't see his sharpshooters, and so they're going to start really dishing out damage because it's 3 units of them versus 1 unit of my men. But we are definitely going to be holding our own here. So these are actually Brunswick sharpshooters, which are devastating. Really fantastic British infantry. Then right here, we have the Black Brunswickers. So actually, let's go over. So we went over my count. Let's go over Zethro's. He is fielding 3 units of the Brunswick sharpshooters. I'm pretty sure only 3. Yep. He has 2 units of the King's German Legion Foot, 2 units of the Black Brunswicker Infantry, 2 units of Highland Foot Garrison. I believe he has 2 units of Highland Foot Garrison. Maybe not. Maybe he only has 1 unit of... Oh, no, he did. No, he has 2 units of them. He has 3 units of the Royal British... Or 2 units of the Royal British Fusiliers. And back here, he has the 2 units of Fencible Garrison. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm actually going to start advancing these units soon, but... For the most part, this is just Zethro bombarding me and me trying to kind of compensate and fire back. I also have over here an artillery position, so I have 2 units of 6-pounder horse artillery and a unit of 6-pounder, howitzer, 7-pounder howitzer. So we are trying our best to bombard his position, but it is very hard to, seeing as he has a hilltop and I only have 1 howitzer. Though I am getting pretty close to hitting some of his infantry. But yeah, no, I'm definitely in no position to be fighting him, especially since he has experimental howitzer. So, actually the original agreement for this battle was I was like, hey man, can you move down so we actually have like a chance of having a fun battle? He's like, yeah. And then he never did. And so I was like, okay, I'm just have to try and fight like that. Oh, he's also fielding 4 units of dragoons. Sorry, I'm really all over the place. It's been a while since I've done this narration stuff, but yeah, it's not good. He is definitely in a better position. The balance of power is even, but it doesn't account for like positioning. He is now pushing his Fencible Garrison through the woods, and I am beginning to mobilize my musketeer force. And I'm going to make sure to kill the Fencible Garrison. Right over here, we have Gerhard von Scharnhorst. I don't know how to say that. I'm not even going to try. But I'm mobilizing 2 units of my Black Brunswickers to go and defend this artillery position, because I would rather not lose any of them to this massive cav force. Okay, I'm just going to change my graphics. Sorry about that cut there. I was just trying to see if I could fix my settings to make the graphics a little bit better. Cannot. I was going to try and keep the bodies on, but it's fine. But right now, my men are, they're getting bombarded right now, and the Brunswick sharpshooters are starting to bombard as well, so I cannot hold my own here. I'm trying my best, but I'm not going to be able to. Right over here, I'm about to engage with some of the defensive garrison. I was actually asking myself why they weren't engaging. It's because they'd fire it well off, but you'll see in a little bit. So my artillery is now in position. I think I'm going to move them up a little bit, and then I open fire on this King's German Legion of foot. But right now, Zethra definitely has the advantage up on this hill, so I have to fall everything back. And I'm playing uber conscious, right? I'm trying to be very conscious of everything around me. I'm being very cautious as well. I actually said I'm playing uber conscious, but I was just meant to say I'm being very conscious of my surroundings. I'm trying to play the best that I can. Sadly, we see that we got some of the black Brunswickers getting shot. A beautiful Prussian flag. But yeah, no, so I'm answering back with my skirmishers. But his Royal British Fusiliers are pushing down, and these guys are really, really bad for me to fight. And if you can see right now, we are beginning to attack. My musketeers are now opening up, trying their best to kill as many of these Fusiliers as possible, or the Fencibles garrison, not Fusiliers, the Fusiliers are up here. But we're doing that, and as that is happening, he is now pulling back up his foot garrisons and Royal British Fusiliers. Oh, that's a great hit by my artillery right there. Ooh, tons of damage. But he is falling back, and we are just kind of at a standstill in this front section because we can't do anything. But back here is where all the action is. I form up my lines, and I'm not pretty sure pretty soon he starts to he orders his men to form up, and so in that time my men reload and begin to fire quickly. But now I am opening up with all of my other infantry beginning to attack with full intentions of defeating his garrison forces here. They are militia forces, so they're definitely outnumbering me. Like 2 units on the 368 at 500, but we definitely outnumber them now. We're about 540 men, and our men are much more competent, so we are definitely starting to volley in, and we're just attacking them from all angles, so they're starting to get some pretty big wavering. This one's steady, but this one's definitely wavering. And they now, this is when I believe they begin to, they answer back with another volley, trying to kill as many of my men as possible. Let's go for the front and see what's happening. Over here, he begins to push up his cav at my artillery, says no, and begins firing at the cav, doing quite a bit of damage, honestly. Let's go back to this battle over here. Over here, some of my men are beginning to waver somewhere. Right there, they were wavering, but they aren't anymore. But the Fencibles garrison are steady, and now breaking. That is not good. Not good at all. So now we have the musketeers opening fire. Well, they should be. This one is reforming. But they're just opening up everything that got on this one Fencibles. They're now beginning to push on the King's German Legion of foot, which is great for me, actually, because I'm trying to get them to do this. That's my whole intention with this. And that, as you can see, I'm now pushing over some more of my men. And I'm going to defend my forces, because now we definitely are winning in the woods here. We are crushing some, just destroying some lives here. Breaking Fencibles garrison, now they are retreating, and he stops his push of infantry, and pretty soon we're going to see that he begins to pull some of his dragoons over, and he's going to try and take out my artillery with that. My black Brunswickers are returning to this side of the battlefield to form up. Seeing this, he orders his I ordered my artillery to open fire on his men, even though I know they won't have an angle. Still ordering them to open fire. Right about now is when he orders this unit to run behind the mountain and engage. So he has his Fencibles garrison in the woods, and I am not going to let that slide. I am getting all of my musketeers to begin pushing forward. Over here, I'm pretty sure I'm about to push up my Swiss lines. Yep. As you can see, I'm pushing my Prussian musketeers at full speed so they can start opening fire into Fencibles garrisons. I'm not going to let this happen, so I am also having my artillery open up. Sadly, this artillery will not last for much longer, because as you can see, we have the entire cav force coming over to my side. It's about now where I believe I begin pushing up a little bit here. I don't know, maybe I'm mistaken, but right now I'm just skirmishing down, trying to fire these King's German foot, these King's German Legion of foot. But right now, we are conquering these Fencibles garrison, just absolutely just lighting them up, putting some lead into them. We're not gonna let this slide, so we are trying our best to kill them. And we are succeeding quite heavily. They're taking a lot of damage, but here comes the issue. The 4 units of cav that were up top. And these things are pain. One second. Sorry about that. There's a lot of like allergies right now in my family because of all the pollen and stuff, so right over here. The King's German Legion of Foot is falling back. And I am crushing all of their defensible garrison, like absolutely annihilating them. My artillery started open fire again too. And this is when he sends over the dragoons. And now I wasn't paying attention at the time. I should have been, because if I saw this, I would have known to push something. Like charge all my cavalry over here, like push the infantry back or something. I didn't do that, which is unfortunate. But that gives him the chance to run with the dragoons. And right here, his general's kind of weird. It's in an odd position. I don't know why he's doing this. I would probably have it up here to inspire the men, but I am being relentless right now, pushing up my musketeers. I'm not even pushing up my Swiss line infantry, expecting him to want to fight me. So I am opening up with my skirmishers. I think we're firing right now at the King's German Legion. Trying to pick off some of them. Oh, that was a brilliant shot from my artillery, knocking out a ton of them. But yeah, no, we are definitely trying to skirmish them down. And this is when he pushes around the cav. And this whole thing is just really unfortunate, because not only does his cav kill my artillery, he kills 1, 2, and 3. 3 of my skirmisher units die to his cav. You'll see that soon. But I am opening up as best I can, trying to keep like him silenced. But I'm out of range now, so I have to just hold a formation. I actually form box here, and I order my men to start firing on his cav, hoping to break him. And at first, it's going pretty well. I mean, we're hitting a lot of shots, killing a lot of cav. And yeah, they're down to 42 men, so we are definitely just like killing some. And now this is when the actual action begins, as the Brunswick men are firing into me. Now I have my skirmishers, the Silesian Schutzen, I don't know, I'm gonna butcher all the pronunciations, but skirmishers. So I order all of my infantry to fall back and form up a line lower so that their hill advantage won't be as great. And in doing so, I have ignored these units of dragoons that are gonna start opening up, and just not opening up, sorry, they're gonna start running towards my artillery. I do form a box with my musketeers pretty soon. I'm hoping you'll see that. Yep, and I immediately order them into box because I'm just hoping to kill at least one of these dragoons. But look at that, 28 of the dragoons survived. And those 28 dragoons spell permanent death to my infantry. As you can see, I'm trying my best to get my skirmishers over there. My artillery is shelling this position, trying to get some kills. It's kind of failing for the most part, but some of them are dying. And the line battle here is just devastating. Tons of dead men on the field already, right here. Cutting down a lot of them. And back here, we just have finally broken some of these dragoons, which is amazing for us. That is one of his dragoons gone. But he still has 3 more, and one of them is half health, but this half health dragoon is gonna do tons and tons of work. Just stupid amounts. So as you can see, I'm trying my best to get my skirmishers into a position to counter the attack. But I have too much that I'm micromanaging at once, and so I'm pretty sure at this point I do actually order over my reserve Swiss line infantry for this battle. Because my other Swiss lines are getting pretty tired, pretty broken down casualties. And the Black Brunswickers are coming, so I am ordering my artillery to fire at them. And now let's go ahead and see how this volley does. It's probably not going to be a very good one, but it's worth looking at. Oh, beautiful artillery gameplay. It doesn't do anything productive for me, but it looks cool. This is unfortunately where I do end up losing my 6-pounder horse artillery. Let's see if I can I spectate them? No, I cannot. Just going to watch as the dragoons just begin to push in. But as you can see right now, this was once a much more formidable force holding up top. And he has pushed them down, and he is starting to really take a beating. As now the balance of power is shifting towards me. Pretty shortly you will see that is not the case anymore, because I'm forming up my men trying to fight. I'm opening fire on his dragoons, and it is no use. His dragoons are charging right in. Then me and all my genius decides to push my skirmishers back up to here, and then I'm like, wait, no, I can turn around and start firing at them. So I start firing. My skirmishers do nothing. But yeah, no, so I'm fighting the fight, you know. I'm trying my best to defeat him. He's holding with a pretty weak force right here. Actually, these black Brunswickers aren't going to do much. So up top here is 1 unit black Brunswickers, 2 units of the Royal British Fusiliers. He's pushing his Highland Foot Garrison, which are, I'm pretty sure, elite infantry for Great Britain. He's pushing them down to engage in this line combat. And right about now is where you watch as I lose yet another unit of my infantry to the dragoons. And I could have honestly stopped the dragoons right there and saved one of my units at least, but I didn't. So I'm trying to save them by pushing over my Prussian Death's Head, which are amazing cav. They are basically mounted. They are just death. They are mounted death. Right here, they've broken my skirmishers again. I have formed box on my Swiss lines, and I'm trying to kill off the dragoons. But the firing from my men is actually what ends up losing this fight, because they are going to get a charge off, and then the friendly fire. So they'll get off the charge, watch a lot of them die. And then my men fire, and the friendly fire just weighs them and breaks them. But the dragoons do end up dying here. It's about now, I believe, where I realize that I'm kind of screwed, so I order my men back into line formation. And yeah, so I get that done. And I don't know why this back line isn't firing yet. They should be. Maybe they just moved out of, yeah, they moved out of range, it looks like. Over here, still nothing is happening. And that's just because I want to keep him focused. I want to make him think that I'm not going to do anything over here. You know, I'm trying my best. So actually now is when I begin to advance my other Swiss line infantry. And I start sprinting these boys, and they can run. That looks really stupid. But they begin running over to engage in glorious line battle combat, as the rest of my lines are definitely outmatched here by the King's German Foot Legion, or King's German Legion of Foot, the Highland Guards and Black Brunswickers. Like, I am definitely outmatched here with just my 5 units that are relatively low quality. Sorry for my voice going in and out of like a rasp and a normal voice. I don't know why I was doing that, but very, very large loss of forces there. Let's go ahead and look at up top here from the British point of view. Oh, good lord. Alright, so now I'm going to be stuck with this unit selected. Great. Anyway, so now that my Swiss line infantry, the unit of choice, is now permanently selected because I tried to take a screenshot. Over here, my Prussian Death Head's pushing up, and I see that this is just a mass position that is just going to rout. Just tons of low infantry numbers. Somehow losing to my infantry, which is shocking. Also, how glorious the smoke is. But my Death Heads come charging into the side, and they just annihilate here. Artillery still firing, but they go in, and they're going to cause some mass morale damage. With that, the breaking here is causing some more breaking. All the morale is just dropping. The constant fire is causing a chain rout. And my Death Heads are just Death's Heads. I keep saying Death Heads. I like Death Heads more though, but my Death's Heads are causing damage. But they are fighting the Black Brunswickers, and I don't want them doing that, so I'm gonna pull them right out of there. So my lines are reforming. I'm gonna begin to order my men to fight. My cav breaks, but it will return soon. And as you can see, very large break, but they are going to return pretty soon. His lines up top are spread exceedingly thin. And this is when I'm like, yeah, nah, I'm gonna fight you here. So I begin to push up my infantry for a glorious melee engagement. Right here, the King's German Legion of Foot, or however you say it. Let me go ahead and turn on my radar to be always, because that is a nice thing to have, but it's fine. So my musketeers are beginning their attack. Well, they were beginning their attack if they fell back. I'm pretty sure I fought them back so they can rest a little bit. And I changed that order. I actually end up pulling these musketeers, you'll see in a couple seconds, over to here. And then I wrap them all the way around the back so I can try and flank them. Right now I'm pulling up my Prussians' Death's Head English. I cannot speak it. But yeah, I begin to order my men up there. Back here is an interesting position. You could hold here if you're in like a final defense situation, I guess. Oh, high quality water charges. But anyways, up top the dragoons are ready to fight me. I'm trying to bait them down with my Death's Head cav. Death's Head and the hussars, which are great. My enemy, Zethro, is forming up a final defense, which is shocking to me because I expected me to be doing that because he holds the massive hill. And look at the bombardment area, like just the amount of damage done in this battle. Both sides have been bombarding this entire time. Over here, I can't do it. Anyways, over here, I actually really remembered my artillery. I was gonna move it, and I never ended up moving it. But I formed my cav up, and I'm ready to engage his dragoons. My new selected units of Swiss line is forming up, and the skirmishers are beginning to pop off shots onto me. The Brunswick sharpshooters are fantastic, and their line of fire is also fantastic. They have a perfect line straight down into my men. I don't know why he stopped them from firing. Maybe for a second they just kind of stopped. But right here, my Death's Head hussars are engaged in beautiful melee. He actually ends up sending his general, and so I end up sending in some of my line infantry. They kind of have a weird moment where they don't know what they're doing. I end up charging them in melee, which is a mistake. And I end up actually losing a unit of my, 2 units of my Black Brunswick's infantry actually. So I'm not gonna show you that right now. I just want to look over here, show you what I'm doing. But right here is where you start to see it. My musketeers are flanking around the back, and Zethro, in his great intelligence, somehow misses this all. So he's just holding this ridge top with his very minimal forces, and I'm like, you know what? I'll let it be. So I'm just letting my men reload, and then eventually you'll start to see them move up. General in tow. My infantry is pushing around. Still no competition there. And this is when I'm actually beginning to open up fire onto the dragoons because they have a perfect sight. But yeah, no, my Death's Head hussars are doing great. I charge in here, which is a very debatable maneuver. Don't quite know what I was thinking. I kind of just thought, ooh, melee equal good, so I did that. Didn't work out great. Back here, he doesn't really notice it on his own. His infantry ends up actually starting to open fire on me. And that's when he notices it. He's like, oh crap, what are you doing? And so I pushed around the back. By now it is too late for him to do anything to fix it. I'm trying to save as many of my Black Brunswickers line infantry. It's not really working great. And so let's go for what I have left. So right now I have my general, my 6-pounder horse artillery, my 7-pound howitzer, my Black Brunswickers line infantry, and I have 4 units of those left. 1 is about to break. 4 units of my Swiss lines, 3 units of the musketeers, which are very low in ammo right now. And right here we have the general himself, Gerhard von Scharnhorst, which is a pretty cool name. But yeah, no, so he is he's left wanting to fight, but he cannot because I don't want him to. And this is when I begin my advance on the back of the hill, I'm pretty sure. Never mind, I'm wrong. My infantry breaks, and I am forced to fight with the Black Brunswickers. They break one of his dragoons, and the other one is chasing after the broken men, and I don't like that. So I told him to oi piss off, and he tries to charge me, and then his dragoons begin to break pretty soon. Actually, pretty sure I formed a box here. But yeah, no, so he still has a pretty healthy unit of dragoons, and he's going for my, he's gonna go for my howitzer. So 56 of my Black Brunswickers survive. They are gonna run off. They will come back soon. And then me expecting him to do that, I form a square, and then he, as he said, jebaited me, which didn't really work out for him. But yeah, no, I formed up my lines here, and I'm expecting him to get on top, and I'm like, this is gonna be a losing fight. Like, I genuinely thought that this force would crush me. But now is the time when you begin to push up with the Swiss lines. You keep pressure on all sides. And so both my forces firing at him, and then my artillery fired at him and destroyed him. So my unit did come back, and so I have all my line infantry returned. And this is when I begin to order them to advance on the front of the hill, as my Swiss infantry gets onto the side of the hill. And so the volleys are beginning. Very large groupings of infantry are just firing off with smoke everywhere, just tons of smoke. Lags my game. But yeah, the musketeers are just opening up on this British line, this force of British men up here. The British Fusiliers begin to advance and push to defend against my large British Swiss infantry. He was not expecting me to be here. I don't think he's really paying attention to it. So now is my chance when I order my men to full speed charge up the hill. He orders his men to charge down and begin to line so he can attack me. So I ordered my men to form up pretty close by to where they were originally. So they are formed up, and they are just getting volleyed upon. Absolute devastation here. But they are just firing, causing some devastation. In the back, it is going terribly for them. One of my units is actually just ran out of ammunition, I believe, right after this volley. Yep. And so I order them to charge. So my infantry begins to open fire. All sides right now of this formation are just getting absolutely annihilated. And yeah, so the devastation is real. I don't really think they were expecting me to do this much damage. Let me go ahead and get it. So that's just the jack. Alright, so right now I am quickly advancing on his formations, causing some routing. And my infantry is now beginning to run out of ammo, so I'm just ordering them all to go into glorious melee combat. They are this is going to be their last volley, pretty sure. Well, it's funny because they're out of ammo and they're trying to reload a gun they don't have ammo for, so I order a heavy charge on one flank. So my Polish legion, or my Swiss legion, I keep saying Polish. Polish is the French version. My Swiss line infantry is pushing up, and we are really just beginning to show our dominance over them. So our infantry are fatigued, but we are charging in to attack these Brunswick sharpshooters. They're running away. But right here we have a glorious charge from the Fusiliers going in for the final charge. Though unfortunately, my charge was also very good against the Brunswickers, against them. So both sides are taking some heavy hits, and we are charging everything we got. Right over here, I'm pretty sure, yep, we have the British charge coming in, and they break. So my men, I believe I ordered them to advance on the position of the hill. Artillery still is coming in, bombarding everything around here. Men are running. They are down to, I think, one. Or yeah, they have one broken unit down there. One of my men actually broke as well, but we have one remaining unit. So I order all my men to engage him. The 2 remaining units, actually. His howitzer crew isn't broken yet, but it will soon. But the Brunswick sharpshooters charge into combat. They actually break my musketeers somehow. So yeah, now it's just down to a couple of the last units of just somehow remaining infantry. You know, like I don't really understand how Heddle's infantry died so fast. But what I do think is amazing is look at the positioning he had above me. Like this must be 120, 130 foot vertical, maybe 150. And his artillery was just bombarding me. And I managed to push my way up, surround him, and win when we had the same number of men. Like, again, I'm not trying to brag, but that's really impressive to me. Actually, I have the weird, like, form. But yeah, no, I think that was really impressive. Seeing as I am now able to defeat him, his last unit is left, and it is right here, and it is about to break. It is wavering, and just like this, I've conquered the hill, and I have won the most glorious victory for the Prussian Empire. So, let's go ahead and look at the statistics. So, he's lost 1,600, I lost 1,500. He had 1,400, he had 30. So yeah, look, our armies were almost, his army was slightly bigger, and he had a hill, and he lost. That's something. Then let's go ahead and look at the highest kills with musketeers. If you did enjoy this video, please do let me know down below. Any recommendations for any more battles? Yeah, do let me know. Have a good day. Peace out.